On today's Summertime Plain English, Minor League Baseball, and Small Town Entertainment. Hi there, everyone. I'm Jeff, and this is Plain English lesson number 602 on August 28th, 2023. Summer is coming to an end, and we're doing a few shorter, easier lessons here so that our team can enjoy a little bit of a break at the end of the summer. The full lesson can be found at plainenglish.com/602. On today's lesson, I'll tell you all about minor league baseball. These are the teams in the small towns full of players waiting to achieve their dreams of playing on the big stage. In the second half of the lesson, I'll tell you about the phrasal verb weed out, and we have a quote of the week. Let's get going. Baseball is called America's pastime, and you know I'm a big fan. Major League Baseball is our top-level league with 30 teams in the biggest media markets in the country. But beneath the surface, there is another baseball world, a world of young players working their way up, trying to realize their dreams and play in the majors. That world is called minor league baseball, or just the minors. All 30 major league teams have a network of minor league teams below them. In total, there are 206 minor league teams supporting just 30 major league teams. The minors have multiple leagues, each with different levels of difficulty. Minors are classified as single A, double A, or triple A. The youngest players, the ones most recently signed out of high school, usually just 17 or 18 years old, they play in single A teams. If they do well, they progress to double A and then to triple A. Each level is more competitive than the last, and at each level, some players get weeded out. It's like a pyramid with the major league team sitting at the top. Only about 10% of players who enter the minor league system ever play in the majors. When players are in the minor league system, they play in smaller markets. Typically, triple-A teams will be in medium-sized cities. Indianapolis, Nashville, Omaha, Des Moines, St. Paul, Toledo, Scranton. These all have triple-A teams. Double-A and single-A teams play in even smaller cities. Peoria, Illinois, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Eugene, Oregon, Greensboro, South Carolina. Life as a minor leaguer isn't easy. Players make about $25,000 per year. Most have other jobs in the off-season. Housing is included in their salaries, but they only get their own bedrooms after reaching double A. Minor league teams don't fly to their away games. They take a bus, and those can be long bus trips. They stay in cheap hotels. They get a meal allowance, but they have to work to make it last the full week. Minor league teams play in front of small crowds. The stadiums hold between 5,000 and 15,000 fans, but many games draw only a few thousand spectators. For the spectators who go, though, a minor league baseball game is family-friendly fun. Tickets are usually only about $10 to $15. Most people buy them at the window on the day of the game. No need to reserve them in advance. You can get in even cheaper if you want to sit on the lawn rather than in a seat. The teams are fixtures in the local community, but the players aren't there for long. The good ones get promoted, hopefully up to the major league team, and the not so good ones retire and are replaced by younger players. Players usually spend between 4 and 7 years in the minors. After that, they're either promoted to the majors or released from the system. Players are usually 22 or 23 years old when they're promoted to the big leagues. And it's not just the players who are on this journey. A whole ecosystem of workers is also trying to get promoted. New umpires, those are the officials. They work the games, hoping that they too will get promoted to umpire in the major league games. Minor league games aren't usually on television, but they are on the radio. And most major league television and radio broadcasters got their start working in the minors too. Minor league baseball is small-town American entertainment in the summertime. When you look at a map of this vast continent-sized country and you think about all those towns and cities that are not in the major media markets, a lot of them have minor league baseball teams nearby. The stands are full of birthday parties, corporate outings, families having a night out, and baseball fans who live far from the nearest major league team. Boy, I used to absolutely love going to minor league baseball games. It was a great excuse for me to get in the car, drive a few hours, see a new town or city, and then see a game at night. The players are all hungry, trying to get promoted. The quality of the games is good. You can sit really close. You see how fast they run, how hard they throw a ball. If you sit up close at a major league stadium, you might pay $200, but you can go to a AAA game, sit in the first few rows, and maybe pay only $20. One of my favorite stadiums is in Davenport, Iowa. It looks out on a huge arching bridge over the Mississippi River. Well, other than 2020, this was the first year I didn't go to a single game all year, probably the first time in the last 20 plus years. I definitely miss it. Today's quote of the week is from the Brazilian writer Paulo Coelho. He says, "The world is changed by your example, not by your opinion." Once more from Paulo Coelho, "The world is changed by your example, not by your opinion." To weed out is to eliminate undesirable things or unqualified people from a competition. The idea is someone is making a decision. Someone is selecting a few people or a few things out of many. And before making the final decision, they want to eliminate the ones that should not be among the finalists. One way to use this is with job applicants. I used to work for a large consulting firm, and it was hard to get good people. But sometimes we'd post a job and we'd have dozens of people apply. And we had an HR office, human resources office, that would weed out the candidates that, for whatever reason, should not be part of the final decision making. For example, and this never ceased to amaze me, there would be people who would just simply not fill out the application correctly. So if you couldn't, or if you refused to fill out the application form correctly, then HR weeded you out. Second, there would be applicants who had no relevant experience. Maybe they were good workers, maybe they were good people, but they had no relevant experience. They were not worth our consideration for this job. HR weeded them out too. So then, we still had a pool of people to choose from, but when we went to do interviews and make the final decision, we weren't also looking at people with no experience. Those people had been weeded out. This sounds harsh, but weed out is not about identifying the winner. It's about identifying the definite losers and excluding them from consideration. And that's how it is in minor league baseball too, really any professional sport. It's a brutal competition. Each Major League Baseball team might only have 5 or 6 spots each year for new, younger players. To fill those 5 or 6 spots, they have 8 full teams of players at lower levels. And there are more competitive, hungry players coming in every year. So the coaches and the scouts at the lower levels need to weed out the players that have no chance of ever making it. The sooner you can exclude them, the better for everyone. It's just reality. Not everyone has the talent. Some players would show a lot of promise at age 18, but they never improve. They never realize their potential. Others didn't have as much potential to begin with. Some get hurt and never recover. There are tons of reasons why a player would simply not have the potential to make it to the majors. So the teams need to weed out the players that just don't have any realistic chance of making it to the majors, so that their AAA roster, that highest level, they want that full of players worthy of consideration for the majors. Just like with the job, the process of weeding out players, this is not about picking the ones who will make it. It's about excluding the ones who don't belong in the final decision making. This is harsh, but it's life. It happens everywhere. We talked about Wheel of Fortune, the game show. They have tryouts all over the country. Potential contestants send in their videos. Then they often try out in a local competition in their state. And then the producers weed out the people who just don't have any chance. To be on a game show, you have to be good on TV. You have to smile. You have to laugh. You have to get excited. Show your energy. You have to be a good clapper. You have to look good clapping your hands. They don't want boring people on TV. This is entertainment. So they'll weed out the people who just don't make good TV. But there's talent to playing the game too. You could be great TV, but if you can't solve the word puzzle, then that's not going to work either. So then they'll weed out the people who are just not good at the game. And then finally, they invite people to final tryouts in California, and even not all of them will make the game. But they'll have a pool of qualified people from which they pick the contestants. They're not wasting their time on people who don't know how to play the game. They're not wasting their time on people who aren't going to be good on TV. Those people have all been weeded out. The producers then have a pool of realistic contestants to choose from. Well, that's all for today. Remember, these are quicker, easier episodes for you during the late summertime. And on Thursday, we'll do another one about small town American summers. This is going to be about agricultural fairs, state fairs, county fairs, things like that. This was lesson 602. So remember, the full lesson is at plainenglish.com/602. See you right back here on Thursday.